Big breakthroughs in engineering don't come from massive changes. They come from small, tiny changes that compound over time. That's one piece of documentation, one process change, one small amount of feedback. It all changes. And in this video, we'll be talking about the compound effect of small, tiny improvements in your journey as an engineer. Hi, my name is Nayab, and on this channel, we talk about everything from engineering and corporate life to being a junior and starting young in your career. And so let's carry on into this video. So just like in investing, compounding applies every single place in your life, especially when it comes to learning and when you're the youngest in your career. Doing one small piece of learning every single day and having that compound mindset really puts you in a position for progression, not just in your career, but as a person and your personal knowledge base as well. It will compound. You will start to make those links, but it's important to have that compounding mindset because you don't just see results from day one. Learning one little thing a day won't make that much of a difference on the day itself. But when you look back at it in a year's time, as I did, you realize you've come such a long way and you've learned so much. When you have this compound effect mindset, what happens is that one documentation that you do every day becomes 50 documentations at the end of the year. One small system upgrade from .NET 6 to .NET 8 you do becomes 50 .NET upgrades. It's way too late to be upgrading to .NET 8, just upgrade straight to .NET 10. One feedback convo that you have per month turns into 50, and if you implement all those 50 feedbacks, then you've improved significantly. Not 1% a year, you've improved exponentially. And so you just need to have that mindset that all these small changes will add up one day. And because all these small changes will add up one day, despite them not taking that much time on the day itself, you should commit to learning one new thing a week. I personally do one tiny little thing, which is my 0.1% of the day, and I document that in a Word document and I put it in and I'm like, today I learned this. I put the date in, a dash, and I learned this. It doesn't need to be a full documentation of what I did, but it's something I learned on the day. And when I'm looking back at what I learned for the week, those things, I recall them, and it's a part of my active recall, which is a way to get it ingrained into your memory of what you've done. But if you just learn one small thing a week that improves how you code, what you do in the business, or how you interact with other people, then you've already put yourself in a position of learning, and that little learning that you did in that week will compound because it's part of your system now as a person, and you're operating with that knowledge. And so therefore it'll start to compound the more you start to implement it, the more you start to remember these things. And as you're learning one new thing a week, the next thing you could do is improve one process around you in a week. I spoke about .NET upgrades earlier. Maybe those upgrades are holding back what your systems are doing right now. And so you improve one repository and you'll update it to .NET. That's one process that's up to date and is running up to speed with the rest of the world, and you're not behind by 200,000 years. And so if you just improve one small process around you, first of all, you have technical evidence of something you've done. Secondly, you've contributed to the business and streamlining it. And thirdly, you've probably reduced costs and operating issues that are going around. And so try doing that. Try refactoring a little small bit of code around you that doesn't take long, maybe even outside of company hours if that will hinder your work. But it's worth making that small change and letting those changes compound over the weeks, and then having a portfolio to say in your one-to-one with your manager, like, look, these are all the things I did outside of my day-to-day responsibilities, and this is how I've contributed. What do you think of this? Do you think these changes made a difference, or what other changes could I put in place of this? But more than anything, it's just a practice task. It's personally for you, it's not for the business. It's to help you improve, to help you get a better understanding of the system. And following on from my previous point for your manager's one-to-one, try to get one piece of feedback per month, or as I try to do it, I try to get one piece of feedback per ticket. And I try to ask my seniors, whether that's my direct line manager, product owner, or any senior developer that I've worked with, on how they think this ticket went and what I could have done better. Is the PR even looking how they want to see the coding standards? Am I doing my reviews on codes well? What am I doing right? I try to get feedback from as many people as possible so I have a diverse amount, because I think getting it from one engineer, their coding standards is different to another one. And so just having a wide amount of opinions is always good for me. And so you can try and get one piece of feedback per month, implement something to act on that feedback, and then report back to the same person and be like, look, this is what I've done now. A common feedback that I had when I was first starting out is that I go down rabbit holes, which I still do, by the way, but if I know that I don't know what I'm doing with a piece of code and I'm trying to just figure it out by rummaging through a bunch of code, I put on a 20-minute timer, and that's when I do it. I try to stop myself from going down a black hole of endless code where one repository is referencing another repository. I go through that repository and work through it and realize I actually don't even need it. And so seeking one piece of feedback will save you a lot more time and give you a direction to work in when you're trying to improve yourself. especially as a junior, I think feedback loops are the most important things that could be, because oftentimes I personally don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm more focused on getting things right and just getting them done than figuring out, oh, this could have been better, like this is where it's gone wrong. And so taking advantage of feedback loops is something that will help you get exponentially better so much quicker than anyone around you. And especially if you can harness the power of feedback, and instead of taking it personally, which I've done many times as well, I'm getting better at taking it professionally and being like, it's only to help me improve. It's not to belittle me or point out any flaws that I have. It's to help me improve, and I'll take it as that, and I'll take it at face value. It's not a blow at my character. It's just me not being the best engineer I can be, and I can improve. And by getting this feedback, you get the opportunity to reflect. By making reflection a habit, you allow those feedbacks to compound as well. You allow your mistakes and your good things and the value that you've provided to compound as well. And reflecting is something which is just a small time that you allocate to it. It'll probably take you 5 minutes to reflect on a whole week's worth of work that you've done, or whole 2 weeks, a whole sprint worth. But by reflecting on it, now you know what to do better for the next time that you're doing a similar ticket, or even just in terms of coding practice, how you want to approach it. Because by reflecting on how I was resolving my tickets, especially in the first few weeks or sprints that I was doing, I was able to figure out, when I get a ticket, I need to write that ticket down into a Word document, split it into the different things. Then I have a section called repositories. I list out all the repositories that I could possibly need to work in, which I don't always need to do, but by putting it down, then I always have it in the back of my head that maybe it's this repository that has it in it. Then I have another section. This is my self-made template. It's not professional advice, so do it how you do it, but it's my system for working through a ticket when I get it. Then I'll search for any similar tickets with similar titles. If they exist, job's 99% done. Because great advice I got from an engineer is look at what exists and copy it. And it is the best advice as a junior that I could have received. And so if I hadn't reflected on the process of me doing tickets, I can't make a system out of it and resolve them systematically and quickly. It saves me a lot of time when I'm doing a new ticket to have this process in place, even though it only takes me about 2 minutes to split that ticket into these categories. But I need to reflect on what I'm doing, what I've already learned, and what I can apply as well. And that reflection is compounded because when I was first starting out and I didn't know anything about repositories, I couldn't fill in that part. But now, as I learn more and more, it's saving me that time, but my growth has compounded as an engineer and as part of my knowledge base. And from these reflections, small habits, you can see that everything compounds, even the tiniest little improvements you do. And if you choose to go in the opposite direction and you choose not to work at all, things deteriorate as well, and they compound as well when it comes to deterioration as well. So it's better to keep us going in a positive direction, and growth doesn't just happen automatically. You don't just wake up one day and you're a senior engineer, or you're not a tech lead when you just wake up one day with that promotion. You slowly improve. Your technical abilities will compound, your soft skills will compound as well. And so we just need to keep moving forward slowly. And so with one documentation at a time, and with one conversation at a time, and one small habit, we can all keep improving. And so if you're a junior, I hope you can write one documentation this week and get that published, maybe on Confluence or wherever you keep it, or maybe even in your private knowledge base that you have. And so if you have any tips and advice on how you're using the power of compounding in your day-to-day role, leave it down below. And for all the additional resources and my newsletter, there's my Stansoul link down below. So I hope you all sign up, and I'll see you later.